So this is what I got. Not the newest and fanciest or anything, but it's gonna definitely be better than my old 970 gaming G1 motherboard for AM3 plus processor. It does have USB Type C 3.1. That's awesome. Also got a slot for I think M.2. I'm not sure if mSATA will work in this because I do have an mSATA drive. Yeah, so it's got a slot for 10 gigabyte a second M.2, SATA 3, 6 gigs, and it's got 6 of those for SATA connections. Dual BIOS, that would have saved my ass when my old computer blew up. And let's see, 1 times PCIe 16, 2-channel DDR, 3 with 4 DDR slots, and you can run Crossfire in this, or RAID 1.5, 0.15, or 10. Got tons of USB ports too. Well, just 2 USB 3.1, and then 4 the other ones, and then what, 3 more, and then 8-channel killer, or 8-channel AD. It has some sort of amp for the stereo output right there. 1115 decibel high definition onboard audio design. I'm going to need that because my headphones are quite thirsty when it comes to power. I always find them very quiet. So what do you get in a box? You get a box. You get some. Ooh, you get some like clear SATA cables. Very cool. Your back panel. Your clear one. Get your sticker. I'm going to keep this quick, and that's a G connector. I have no idea what that does. If you know what it does, let me know. And then your manuals, and then your drivers, which are useless. Go download new ones, and that's another sticker for G1 gaming. This is a gaming motherboard, although I'll mainly use it for video. Crack-a-lack-a-lack-a-leaky. And look at this beauty. That's not too bad. It's not too shabby. So it's going to be interesting getting all my hardware into here. Now there's your amped up audio. I can't wait to try that out. 2 PCI Express. What are these? 16, 4, and then 2 ones. All right, that works. 4 RAM slots. AM3, of course. Some nice heat sinks. Killer gaming neck, as I said before, and then all these. Oh, nice. A USB 3 slot is down here. That's good to see. The last motherboard, it was like up here, and it just made no sense. That's about it. That's a motherboard for you, folks. So we'll install this and fix my machine, and hopefully it'll be just a little bit snappier with better sound. So actually, the old motherboard I had was a 970 Extreme R2.0. Which is like basically the same as this. This isn't much of an upgrade besides the sound and the mSATA, or the M2 port, which I don't see. Where is it? Okay, anyways, we're going to install this and see what happens. First things first, I/O shield. We'll just pop that in. And how's that going to sit? It's going to sit like that. Alright, so pop that in like so. It's an insanely hot day today too, man. Moving and grooving. Just line up that. We're not lined up. There we go. Now we're lined up. Grab a screwdriver. I'm still gonna have to take all the parts out of that for the RAM, CPU, and all that nonsense. Probably smarter to do that out of the case, but you know, I got the heatsink on that smaller case on the CPU in there, so I'm fairly certain I can do it with this one as well. If you folks are wondering what a standoff is, it's that little thing that these screws go into behind the motherboard. Screw into the case. And up there, it does look like there are quite a few system fans. There's a power fan, system fan there. There's 2 there. I think someone said there was like 6 entirely on this motherboard, which is pretty good for motherboard fan power. I am not lined up on these standoffs. What is going on here? Should be. Guess I'm using the wrong screw. That might be the problem. Not these smaller motherboard screws that look like that, and not the case size screws. But another's ripping apart that other case. This is what I just kind of put everything into a bag. I didn't really organize it because that's how I rock. But I know what I'm doing, don't you worry. Oh, it's a very slick looking motherboard, I must say that. And the killer Ethernet should be handy with uploads. Get me some more speed because I actually do use a wired connection. I don't use Wi-Fi on my computers. The good old wired method. Of course, always ground yourself before you're doing this kind of work. Touch something metal, or preferably something that's grounded that's metal. Case is good, especially if it's metal like this one, because that's grounded right to the power supply. Do as I say, not as I do. Also try not to drool while you're doing this, because that could disrupt your electronic abilities. My motherboard fits this case just slick. Look at that, even my ribbon cables kind of match. I got red and black. Sexy beast, sexy beast. First the CPU, I guess, and then we'll put in the cooler. I'm going to have an interesting time fitting that gigantic cooler in here, because last time it was a pain, and the power supply is now on the bottom instead of the top. So the wiring is going to be all different, but this case is actually pretty good about the whole wiring situation, and especially the drive cages. These are slick. You just put your drive in there, slides right in and out. I've already got 2 drives in here, and we're just about ready to rock this thing. Oh, plus these wires are already like pre-labeled, so I don't have to do a whole bunch of messy, well, maybe I do, power switch and stuff. Alright, so that's one thing I'll have to do, is figure out where all these power dip switches go. And look, if they go right there, and they are color coordinated, although these have no color. But it should be marked, and if they're not marked, they will be in the manual. And they're not marked. No, not at all. Just color coordinated. And these are not color coordinated. Okay, I'll have to use a manual. There, this is a deconstruction of my old editing station, shall we call it. Now, the only other concern I have is that possibly the motherboard has goofed up, and that's why I'm getting issues. Or I mean, the power supply has goofed up, and it's not the motherboard that's doing weird shit. But now, cross your fingers, it's not that big of a deal. Now, I'll probably just leave the video card right in there, because they usually have this little slot right there. Oh no, I can just lift it right out. Okay. Sometimes they're harder to get out, but usually a little switch at the back. It makes it a real pain to get out. And how are we doing for dust? Wow, that thing is clean. Okay, so I'm not really worried about this. A little bit dusty on the back. What I need is a paintbrush. And I can clean this off with a paintbrush. Do I have a paintbrush? I don't know. We'll get into that later. I don't even think I'm going to use all these fans that are in here. I think I have another one for the front, and this one came with a 180 in the back. And honestly, this thing is so open, I highly doubt it's going to overheat with any issues, just because it's so open. So that's for the top header. And these are for the front panel connections. That's what I was talking about before, like the hard drive LED, reset switch, and power switch. So I want to know where those go on the new one. That's your main power right there. I'm not sure how many pin that would be, but I'm guessing, I don't know, 24. Then all my drives have to come out. They do have this little switch on the bottom that you gotta touch and kind of pull out. Most of them do, at least. Oh, you even got some nice ribbon cables in here. Wow. Oh, we're getting fancy. And the biggest issue is going to be getting this heatsink off. It's a little bit dusty. Getting that heatsink off and the CPU out. But yeah, I've done way more complex things than that. Off those in my box. You can see the difference in size here, right, too. Like, this is another ATX board, but it just like massively fills up the case. It's older. I think I got this case like way back in the day, like 2005 maybe, if not older. So it's like a 10-year-old case. It's all aluminum now, so it's heavy. For a case, it's very heavy. And of course, if you find this boring, you can just fast forward or just time and stuff. And I just had a thought, why am I removing the motherboard out of this one? I don't need the freaking motherboard, I just need the CPU and the heatsink. And also make sure you got some thermal compound handy, because you're going to have to reapply it. Of course, the heatsink just comes out, that's what holds it in to the M3, right? And this Be Quiet cooler just slides in here and then goes in between the two links, and you're good to go. How's that heatsink look? Let's look at this. Drying out a little bit. Oh no, it's still there. Okay. You can see it's on my finger. So I need that CPU out of there. I need to clean the crap off of it. And I need to put her into the new case. So just lift up that spring. Like so. Ka-ching, ka-ching. And when you do that, you lift it up. You can see on the top there, it's got a little arrow. That arrow corresponds with the one in here. And here's my arrow. See, they're only going to go in one way, right? Can't force these in. So that's down, so I'm going to get some rubbing alcohol and paper towel to clean off the old Arctic Silver thermal compound that was in there. So there's a little bit of rubbing alcohol in it. I'm just going to wipe that on there. Probably better to do this outside of the computer, but rubbing alcohol is not really going to hurt anything electronic, especially if it's like 90+%. And you just see how clean that gets right there. Alrighty. So this is ready for a new dab. Shine that up a little bit more. I don't know, how did this turn out for dust collection over the years, or over the year I should say. Not too bad. Got some in the corner there. What do we need next? I need to find my SSD. I don't even know where I put the damn SSD in this machine. Oh, there she be. She's a wee bit dusty. Oh my goodness. I think I can pull the power supply now. I got everything dislodged, and I think just the drives are still connected. Just the drives, and I'm ready to rock. And I do still use a DVD-ROM, folks, because I like to burn CDs once in a while, because you never know. What a spaghetti mess. This is why new cases are so much better, because you hide all the wires behind them. And I'm going to do a bit of wire management today, but not a ton, because I just want to see if this thing is up and running. Make sure the motherboard is not toast, and I don't have to return it or anything stupid. Alright, little bonus step there was just this is an older case, so we had this casing right here. I couldn't get the power supply out without removing this first. Just an extra 4 screws, and then we can yank this EVGA 600B 80 plus bronze, I think. Yeah. Power supply out of there. And just make sure we're not still connected to anything. What was that? Oh, that was one of the freaking links for this. Okay, so that goes with that. Yeah. There's a link for the Be Quiet connector. Okay, I'm not a professional, so don't judge me on my ways, but I do get things done, and they generally work. And the sticker's still on this. Huh. So that was actually, how are we doing for dust in this puppy? Doesn't look too dusty. It's got some dust on the bottom, but not inside, which is what I'd be worried about. You can see right through that. That's good. Yeah, it's not dusty at all, so 2 drives in here. I think they're both 1 terabyte. Western Digital Blacks. Mature good drives, you know. They're getting on in age, but they still spin at 7,200 RPM and haven't let me down yet. See, I was trying to like wire manage behind this, but you just can't do it in old cases. You just can't hide stuff behind here. I don't know if you guys watch Scrap here at the Wars, but Linus Tech Tips, but yeah, they try and do some interesting things with old computers, and I don't even think they've really managed to figure out the whole wiring behind these old cases. You just can't do it. You can on some, but not very well. Totally see how much space this saves on, how much a mess it saves when you can just actually just push the cables right on through to the back of the motherboard, the back of the case, and then reroute them to the drives once they're there. So I guess I should put all 6 in right now. I don't know. I guess I will go for the clear ones, just because. Although these are very long, they don't need that much length. Or is there 2 in here? Yeah, there's 2 in each one. Scores! I don't want to get too excited putting things in here just yet, because as I said, that the front panel header is not marked whatsoever. I have yet to read any instructions, but I will this time, because I kind of have to figure out where these pins go in correlation to these pins right here that are all bundled up. We'll save wire management for another day. Today is cold, just getting shit ready. Oh, would you look at that? I was like looking at the header, I'm like, what the hell? Why is a fan header coming out of here? Well, this thing has a fan in the front and the back included with the case, so that's a bonus. So we just find a fan header to plug that into. There's one right here. I don't know if that's for, is it fan? That's for power fan. So with power and reset, I can probably get away with just using this for now. I don't see why I need everything else besides USB. HD audio, that's just for front panel audio, but I will plug all of this in once I figure out where it goes. And this is USB 3. So that goes over there. With the notch on top. Go click. And these will be going up here. And these USBs, I don't even know what these are for. Okay, that's wrong. Let's do it back. It says audio. Obviously. Redundant, but okay, and that one's got a black square in it, so make sure to match that up with the pins. Don't bend any pins, because sometimes they have these little block-offs, right? Just to make sure that you plug it into the right place. Now this one is USB 2.0. Got 3 of those. This thing is getting dirty. And I am going to go with the power supply pointing upwards, and I'll check with the heat on this and just see how well it flows once I get it up and running, and see what the temperatures are like. But generally, if you can have it on a desk, put it so the fan's going that way and not this way, because right now I'm both blowing air right into the case, which is not a huge problem, because this case hardly, or this power supply I should say, that fan barely spins at all. It's a very efficient setup. Speaking of fans, we've got this one rear fan here to plug in. And you've got a system fan plug right there, and it's just a wee bit short to get to it with this cable on here, so stretch it out just a little bit and plug that in. So 3-prong, I guess. No, it's got 4-prong back here. So you can get system info directly from the 4-prong. Or you can actually control the fan with the 4-prong. Here's your hard drive, just put it upwards, in the upwards position. And in this case, which is in cases, Tech, I don't know. I got it a long time ago and let's just say it was cheap. But oddly enough, the build quality is not too bad. I'm just wondering how I'm going to do the SSDs in here. It looks like I can mount them to these smaller holes. The center. It's going to be a mystery. Yeah. It looks like I just use screws like that to mount it right into there. Boop! Poppity boo. Might as well plug in the power connection here too. And I'll just match up little areas here. It's curved. Should have a little notch there. Now this power connector is just barely reaching here, so that might be a problem, but I'm going to go with it for now. And just make sure that all these, that's for video. I'll make sure that all these SATA connectors for power go through the back of the case, and if they don't go through the back case on your case, then you're shit out of luck, and you're going to have to find some place to hide those cables, or get a modular power supply. Alright, so now we're at the back of the case. We're going to hook up, right now I should probably just do my SSD, because that's my boot drive, just to be safe, then make sure that test everything. That once it boots up, I know that that's not an issue. Right, now this is a part where you take zip ties and probably make this sit all back here out of the way, but I'm just going to squish it into the base here, because as I said, until I know that this motherboard even works, I'm not going to waste my time doing any cable management. So just now would be a good time to get out my Arctic Silver and just put a little dab on here. Maybe they say a line is the best method, is to go like, not too much. Not too much, it's bad. Not too little, it's bad. It's probably actually too much. You just want to like less than that. Where's my heatsink? Right. So let's see how this is going to orientate in this case. It looks like it's going to go this way again. So we're going to decide which way you want it to go that way. And the heat will just shoot right at the top. That'll be great. And how did I do this before? So it was really difficult until I figured out a simpler method. I think I just kept this like loosey-goosey so I could still move this thing back and forth just a tiny little bit, so I can get my adjustment on where this was going to go, because that goes under there like that, and that clamps that down onto there. That's clean now. So this needs to go like that, right? Line everything up. And there's my CPU fan header right there. Well, I'll plug this in for power. Once it's on, get under the loop. Can't see this too well, but if you're doing this, I'm sure you'll figure something out. There we go. Okay. It just slides up it's not snapping on. It's really hard to do because I can't see anything right now. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen this out until I get the adjustment to line up so I don't have to take off this fan. And hopefully I can snap this thing into place. There we go. Got that side. Okay, now that's not lined up with the CPU whatsoever anymore. That's not gonna work. There's better. I hate these freaking adapters for Be Quiet. Hate them with a passion. Let me fight this for a bit. Oh, that's gonna be a. I'm gonna only be able to use like 3 RAM slots now too. Great. Okay, so by sliding that forward and tightening the top one, I got it to go on, and I just adjusted the little slider on this one until that went in place. Alrighty boys, we're just about there. Stop on my RAM. As I said, we might have some issues here. Clearing this cooler, because I don't like this cooler. I'm never going to get 4 sticks in there, that's for damn sure. Unless I change the cooler button, I might be able to get 2. And that is awfully close. But it does fit. And just after this, we plug in the video card. And we fire it up. The back. Look at that, even the little grates are black. That's good. Keep that with my gooders. Oh yeah, just figure out where it's lining up and job her on in. Did I pull out the wrong one? Yes, I did. Alright, so I actually have to pull out the lower one. You think I know this stuff by now, huh? I'll just screw this in. And power supply goes into here. Oh, what is this? This is a Force 960, so it uses 2 6-pins, I believe. In business. Now, everything goes right. My calculations are correct. Einstein will be the first time-traveling dog in history. And this computer may just work. Alright, cut. Now this is generally where I think I'm done, but I'm not done. I'm just going to go over everything just to make sure that all my fan headers, everything is plugged in correctly before I actually plug it into the wall and give her the goose. So I don't want to hear a bunch of beeps and errors when I first start it up. I want it to just work. Okay, let's try it. USB DAC up. What the hell is that for? Huh. Interesting. Anyways, I think we're all plugged in here, ready to go. Just gonna plug in the sound. And I'm not gonna plug in any of this extra. I didn't even make a mess. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.